Welcome everybody to CPP Tech Build Edition. We need power! Alright everybody, so you notice we have two power supplies here, right? Well, this is an ATX power supply, and this is an SFX power supply, which is what we're going to need for this case. So whenever you're doing your build, make sure that you have the right power supply for your case, because some take the SFX and some take the ATX. So just keep that in mind before you do that. And if you notice on this one here, it's got some wires that plug in. Oh crap. So if you notice on this one here, it's got some wires that plug in here and then some are actually coming out. This is a semi-module power supply, or if you notice on this one here, this one here actually has all the connections for it. So if you actually notice, you got SATA, CPU, VGA, and then on the bottom you got, what is that? Oh, motherboard. It looks like MIB from over here. It has motherboard, and then you got your peripherals there somewhere. Right there. Right. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. So I prefer the modular over the semi-modular, but there are some cases where the modular ones are pretty beneficial as well. So, but we're going to use the SFX. We're going to show you how to put this turd in. So what I like to do first is, so this one here is your motherboard, okay? That one's for your motherboard case. This is going to go on the power supply. This is going to go on the motherboard. Okay, so on this one here, it says MB for motherboard. So you know that's going to go to your motherboard. And then you've got these other ones. So they're actually labeled on the thing, on the wire, on the cable. And let's go. This one says CPU. So you know that goes to your CPU on top of the motherboard. And then you got another one that says, oh, well, that says EVGA, right? So don't be alarmed, that says EVGA. But if I turn it, it says VGA. So that's going to be for your graphics card. And now on your power supply, you're going to take a look at it. And that one says CPU. So that one that showed CPU goes into that. The one, whoops, let's go this way. The one that says VGA, it doesn't matter which two you go into. It just depends on how many power pins or what have you got on your graphics card you're going to utilize. But your VGA is going to go there, and then down here in the bottom is your motherboard. So easy and peasy. So generally what I do is I don't plug the wires into here first. What I do is I feed the wires through the case, and then I plug this in and then I screw it on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed this one through here, because that's going to go on your motherboard. And then these are going to be a lot easier going from the front than from the back, because you have your two. So what I'm going to do is, since this is the CPU, I'm going to find the hole back here, and we're just going to pull it through. And what I normally do is, once I've done that, I'll plug it in there, but I'll turn this around to show you. I'm going to just get all this stuff wired up. Normally I plug everything in and then I plug it into the power supply. So, and then we got the graphics card. So we're going to go, I'm going to go this route and then go from there. So now that that's all ran, what I'm probably going to do, because it's going to be a lot easier, it's a lot easier to plug everything into the motherboard before you put this on than it is after. So we're going to go ahead and readjust this, and I'll show you what we do. On this particular motherboard, it's got six power pins, and obviously you see 8. That's fine. All you're going to do is, I hope this is recording. It's a pain in the rear, but plug that in. Now they're in. And I'm going to push that through. Now you got the 24-pin motherboard cable. So that's just going to go right in here. Click, click, bang. So after you've got the motherboard all screwed in, you've got these other peripherals, the 3.0 USB, the USB 3.0, and then USB-C. This motherboard does not have a USB-C slot, so we're not able to plug it in. But you got the USB-C or USB 3.0 on here. Now there's a little notch, and you'll have a notch either on one side or the other. Just line up that notch and plug her in. Plug her in. Ooh, plug her in. Plug her in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the motherboard cables in first. So they're going to go right into these ones right here. So got click and click. And this is the CPU. Then there's one that says CPU, so we're just going to plug it into there. And then you've got the VGA. You got VGA 1 and 2. We're just going to put it in number 1. I hear thunder and lightning. I better shut my computer off. Okay. So now you're going to notice there's six holes. But you see the fan? You're going to have the fan pushing out towards the outside, not towards the motherboard, or else it's going to actually choke and heat. So that's going to go in just like so. And your power supply should come with screws, okay? So I'm going to line up the holes with the holes. Alright, so now that's the power supply installed. So we've got that plugged into the motherboard, and now all we have to do is the graphics card, and we'll hook that up, put a monitor on there, and fire this thing up. Can't see without graphics.